Butter Vision. Ah, there you are! And welcome to Unsportsmanlike Conduct, the show with a bunch of handsome men's arguing about sports. On today's episode, Rafael Bracero, Olu Alemoru, Keith Caggiano, and Robbie Day. And now, here's your host coming to you live from the City of Champions, home of the Lakers and the Dodgers, J.D. Butter! Yeah. Still coming at you from the City of Champions, ladies and gentlemen. What up, y'all? It's your man, J.D. Butter, and we're back for another episode of Unsportsmanlike Conduct. We got a good one. Let's get right into it today, all right? We got the boxing crew. That's all the foreshadowing you're going to get. Let's get them right in here, starting off with my man from Puerto Rico, one of our main boxing guys, my dude, Mr. Rafael Bracero. Let's give him some dap, ladies and gentlemen. Bring him in. Mr. Bracero, we hear you, we don't see you. Turn on your camera, brother. There it is. Yeah, yeah. Oh, you got your tea. Woo! Yeah. We're going to be celebrating the championships for the rest of the season, y'all. If you're not a Laker or Dodgers fan, you're just going to have to deal with it. What's up, my man?
A couple of years ago. I don't have this year. But
I should have brought my playoff towel. I should have brought my playoff towel. So we got a good topic. Let's get the rest of these cats in here. Next up, our man out of Manchester, the purveyor of nutmeg, ladies and gentlemen. You know him as the African Englishman. Let's get him in here, my man, Mr. Olu Alemoru, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, let's get the African Englishman in here. There he is, yeah, straight out of Manchester, ladies and germs.
Hey.
Dude, Mr. Alemoru, what's good, dude?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Are you guys still on lockdown?
My man. Yeah, we are till December the 2nd automatically. And then if the numbers are good, I guess we'll be able to relax a bit.
Well, as you may notice that both me and Rafa are wearing our Dodgers livery today.
Well, I'm in blue as well, so
continuing the City of Champions theme for the rest of the season. So let's get the rest of this crew in here. Next up, my man, one of course, 9 black people in Connecticut. Let's get him in here. My man, Mr. Robbie Day in the house. Let's get him in here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what he's got for us. There he is. Yeah, there he is. He's got the beard in full effect, ladies and germs.
What's up?
I'm good. Hey, how you doing, Robbie?
What's up?
What's
JD, my brother, what's good?
What's going on there, man? This is your first post-Trump appearance, man.
Trump appearance.
Post-Trump.
Oh, post-Trump. Got you. Yes, it is my first post-Trump appearance.
We kind of celebrated last week, but not to get too political, but I think I feel safe talking, amongst this crew. I think I know where we all stand on this, but
yeah. Listen, if Jesus was real, I'd say thank you, Jesus, but thank you, Lord, but whatever.
Wow, he just really offended all the Christians out there.
But they can go pray tomorrow. It's tomorrow's Sunday.
All right, let's get our last panelist in here. You, of course, know him as our main entrepreneur from Rockin' Products, my man, Mr. Keith Caggiano in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get him in here. There he is. Yeah. What's up, my man?
What's up, guys? What's up? What's up, JD?
You guys in a while.
Now, before we get into the topic, I mentioned that we got our boxing crew here, so it is a boxing topic. I haven't revealed it yet, but before we talk about that, because I know you're a huge follower and fan, Keith, of Lomachenko.
Yes.
I don't know if you all saw that fight, but Lomachenko lost.
I didn't get a chance.
How you feel about that, man?
I didn't get a chance to see the fight.
Okay.
I think it's about Lomachenko too, not to get off. His skill set's just very interesting to watch, and I think his training and stuff is changing how boxing is going to be, and the way he moves his feet too. So I hope that he bounces back because he's a heck of a boxer to watch. But I think what he's bringing to a next level of training is going to be really interesting because it's something to watch. If you guys haven't really checked out Lomachenko.
Well, it seemed like he took literally the first half of the fight just kind of let me see what this guy's got. But the guy was building up points, and then he came on late in the fight, but it was kind of too late already. And I thought the cards were really out of hand. They all had had a wide gap, and I thought it was a relatively close fight. So
I don't want to be accused of perfect transitions, but I think one of the things about Lomachenko that he needs to work on is he needs to develop his punching power. Well, he's got all skills. So, and I think that's where, he could take some lessons from something like that.
Some of the guys we're going to be talking about. Nice foreshadowing, nice transition there. Today's topic, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about is best or hardest puncher, pound for pound, boxing history in the modern era, which we're kind of labeling 1960 to 2020. So best puncher of the last 60 years. So let's get right into this topic, and let's start out with my man out of Connecticut, Mr. Day. Let me set up the clock and see what you're talking about. 2 minutes, get it going, do it.
Let me share my screen because while I'm giving my commentary here, I need y'all to see.
All right.
What we got. So as you can see in our video footage here, my pick was Deontay Wilder. He is one of the hardest punchers. I think there's a lot of people in the industry that says he's almost number one. So let me break down his record. 42 wins, 41 knockouts, 1 loss, and 1 draw. As of February 2020, he's ranked the world's second best active heavyweight by BoxRec, third by the Transnational Boxing Rankings Board. On sparring with Wilder, former heavyweight David Haye once told The Sun, his punch power is a 10 out of 10, and that's it. I don't know what else to say. Evander Holyfield is like, when you get hit by him, you fall. There's nothing else. There's no mathematics behind it. There's nothing. The dude he's a beast. And if you look at the way he punches, he has similar to George Foreman, he has these clubbing punches and it doesn't even take his hardest punch to knock you out. But look at this guy. He's freaking amazing. He can take a punch too, except after, Fury kind of outboxed him. But outside of being a boxer, this guy's punching ability is amazing. Trainers, there's a couple of trainers that were sent to the hospital because of working out with him too. So this is how, look at him. Look, the video speaks for itself. I can't even say anymore. Just take a look. But at the end of the day, my pick was Deontay Wilder. 42 wins, 42 by knockout. I mean, amazing guy. And he's recent. He's in the modern era. He's taking these guys out. So that's where we're at.
Yeah, I hard to argue that one. He definitely he has a little stuff in his fist. So I can't be mad at that one. Good call. All right. Next up, let's go with Mr. Rockin' Products. Let's see, because I know what you're going to be talking about. Your boy. Let's get right into it. Let me set up the clock. Hold on a second. All right. All right. 2 minutes. Do it.
Bring it on.
Fast. Mike Tyson, when you're growing up, you watch him, you see a minute and 30 seconds, you go, wow, this dude's got punching power. But if you don't understand the physics, I got a chance to actually go back and rewatch. I like to understand the physics behind these sports phenoms. Like, I like to break down Barry Sanders' physics, the physics behind it. And if you see Mike Tyson, you understand how can somebody generate that much power, and it's about the physics of it. This is about as much as I've got right now for audio visual aids, because all of my beta and VHS tapes are currently underwater. But the point is how he does it. And the thing is when I started to do a little bit of research too, I like that there's a backstory here. Customato started training him at 13 years old. Customato said, power's born, but punching power is developed. Customato took him. The only person that ever hit a 300-pound bag before was Rocky Marciano. For 9 years. He's at age 13, Customato trained him on a 300-pound bag. But that's not it, because when I say E equals MC squared, it's about mass and it's about acceleration. And so what the difference between Ali with the jab, Ali's jab is one of the most effective things in boxing, different type of punch. But the jab, you're only using the mass of the forearm, and it's usually a front foot thing too that you're on. So the power you're generating is not a power generating punch. If you look at the way Mike Tyson twists his body and from foot to foot, the difference is if you're taking one punch, you've got the mass of this hand times how fast you can do it. And that's what your energy is going to be. You take the mass and you're moving your whole torso. You're moving your feet. It all starts with the feet. So when you watch Tyson
10
train,
seconds.
He throws his body from foot to foot, so he's generating so much force from the twist of his body, and his speed is completely underrated. People don't understand his speed. So that's how that much punching power is developed, and it was trained into him from Customato. So the thing about Tyson, it's not just about punching power. So much of it is about his training. That's what I really love to discover about Tyson, is it's not just this crazy animal who can just punch and fights over. So much of it is built and baked into his training from being 13 years old and how those punches are generated. And so that's really the key. And that's where I like to break down the physics. And that's
right.
Yeah.
Getting scientific up in this piece, y'all. Was not expecting all that. All right. Not bad. Let's see. Let's go over on the other side of the pond, straight out of Manchester, my man, the African Englishman. And let's see what you're talking about, Olu. Let me set up the clock.
Okay.
All right. 2 minutes. All right. Go.
Okay. In terms of devastating punches, I think most people would look at the heavyweight division and look at obviously your Tysons, your Foreman, your Ernie Shavers, all absolutely devastating punches. And I was thinking along those lines, but then I was looking at just also in terms of throwing so many punches in the whole fight. And I know we're going from modern, so one of my all-time legend favorite boxers and punchers is Sugar Ray Robinson. But because we're going from the modern era, I went back and I think for me it's Marvin Hagler. The guy in his world title fights, 10 knockouts. I mean, I remember watching when he destroyed one of Britain's famous boxers here, Minter.
Alan Minter.
And just his absolute ferocity every second of the round. And then his classic fights against Hearns, obviously against Sugar Ray Leonard. But there was just something when you watch that guy, and for me, this is a visceral topic.
We're gonna get to this video ever, or?
So yeah, JD can play a bit of Hagler tape.
All right, hold on 1 second. Let me get to that.
But I have to say, just in terms of not just a one-off, I'm talking he's gonna punch brutally for the whole 12 rounds.
All right,
and
let's.
so I'll give it to Marvin.
All right, let's see what we got here. All right.
War. That's what's on my.
Really rocked him another right hand. He's got him in trouble. He's on the ropes, and that's it.
All right. I mean, you know, we'll see. I'm not a 1,000,000% convinced on that one, but let's keep it moving. All right, Rafa, let me set up the clock. Let's see what you got for us. 2 minutes. Do it, baby.
All right, let's do it.
He's got something up his sleeve.
Yeah.
Well, I am going with one of my favorite punchers and most interesting characters in boxing in the modern era, and that would be George Foreman. Now, George Foreman is from Marshall, Texas. So I think in terms of doing this analysis, I'm going to summon, especially in this political season that we're in, I'm going to summon my inner Karl Rove to break down my analysis, my POW analytics is what I call it. So let's start off with the esteemed crew here has shown some great fighters and some great knockout artists, but if you just look at let's look at the tail of the tape here. George Foreman, 68 KO wins. Tyson, 44. Hagler, 52. Wilder, 41. I don't even know who the hell this guy is.
Oh my God! Wow. You call yourself a boxing guy?
I'm just saying, 68 beats all the others. So, as a matter of anecdote, I would also call out that George Foreman beat some of the top talent of his era, including Frazier, and just absolutely decimated him. His uppercut was devastating. People were intimidated of him as much as they are of Tyson in his prime, and he beat friend of the show, Ken Norton, very decisively, who is a very tough guy to beat. That guy broke Ali's jaw.
You broke more than your heart.
Based on that, and I'll just keep it nice and simple because that's how we do it in Texas.
10 seconds.
Vote Foreman. Why? Why? 84% KO wins ratio. KOs versus Frazier, Norton, Moore. He actually became the oldest heavyweight champion of the world by knockout, knocking this guy out. He was practically almost 50 at that point. So his career spans from 69 to 1997. That is a long career, guys. And what can I say? He's just very exciting to watch, and just one of the best out there. So that's my vote. So vote early, vote often.
Yeah.
Visual aids are new level.
Yeah, I can't vote against Foreman, but I can certainly vote against that presentation. Now, let's get into a little butter time, ladies and gentlemen. And, of course, I have some tech that I'm going to show, but I just want to give a few seconds to talk about where I'm coming from with the knockouts. I want a guy who hits so hard, bruhs go limp, dude. Like, referees don't count, okay? Like, I don't want a guy who knocks out, who stops people. I want someone who KOs people. So let's go to my video, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Julian Jackson, WBA super welterweight champion from 87 to 90. And yeah, I mentioned knocking people limp. This is a Hall of Famer right here. Terrible Terry Norris. Limp. Limp. No need to count. Hall of Fame fighter. Here's another one. Look at this. Watch this. Limp. No need to count. Referee does not even bother counting. Limp. Here's another one. Watch this. Limp. No need to count. One shot. Boom. Limp. And he points at him. Look at this. You're done. Here's another. Left hook limp. No need to count. He can't work his legs. Look at this. Boom! That's knockout power. When a guy has this face, you'll see this. When a guy punches you into this face, that's punching power. Here's another one. When he won the title. Boom! Limp. Delayed reaction limp. Left hook one shot to a reigning champion, no less, Buster Drayton. And he points at him, you're done. He knows. He knows he's done. Limp. And for good measure, oh! Olu's countryman Harold Graham from the UK. Limp. And done. No need to count. That's punching power. That's Julian Jackson, the hardest puncher pound for pound in boxing history. JD Butter, out. Yeah, and I should point out that I edited, there were like about 13 others just like that from his reign that just like knocking guys cold. So Julian Jackson, best pound for pound puncher all time. Now, let's do a quick roundtable before we get to the rebuttals. We got my man Robbie Day. And he's talking about recent heavyweight champion Deontay Wilder. Great call. Guy hits like a brick. Keith, of course. Iron Mike Tyson, another great call. Can't be mad at that. Olu, marvelous Marvin Hagler, one of the greatest middleweight champions of all time. Rafa, Big George Foreman, 2 heavyweight title reigns, one in his late 40s. Big, huge puncher again. Can't be mad at that one. And, of course, I picked Julian Jackson. So let's start with the rebuttals. Let me get the clock reset to the 1 minute time frame, first of all, and let's see what we got going on. Let's start it off with Rafa. Let's see what you got going. 1 minute to rebuttal. Do it.
Well, I think these are all really very interesting choices. I would say if I had to pick somebody other than Foreman, I think Tyson would be kind of that prototype. I mean, the guy is just, I mean, it's a horror show. I think the guy beats you before you even enter the ring, you know, and just the efficiency of his movement and the power of his punches, especially during, you know, his prime, and just the style of how he was making those fights and bringing those fights, you know, that would be my you know, that would be my second pick for sure, for more the modern era.
What this boy talking about on the telephone, man?
You know, pretty kind-hearted rebuttal there. Not bad. Let's see what Mr. Day is talking about in his rebuttal piece. You got 60 seconds, my man. Do it.
Okay. This guy sends trainers to the hospital. I mean,
he's like, that's it. That's my rebuttal.
One thing I can say about Deontay is he started at the age of 20. He got that's late for a boxer. He started at the age of 20. This guy's power is almost unmatched. A jab will knock you out. He's big. His wingspan is something close to like 70 inches or something like that. He's a big dude, but he knows how to use his size. Again, like I said before, he's not a boxer, but he's gonna catch you, and you just have to have a chin of steel to just not get knocked down. You know, his peers are giving him props. If his peer says he's a 10 out of 10, I mean, he's at the top of his game, and I would say he's top 5.
All right. I can't be mad at Deontay Wilder.
Right on time. Look.
That's a great call.
Can I just say, kind of rebuttal here? I got 2 words. Tyson Fury. That's it.
Boxer puncher.
Bop.
Boxer puncher. I said he wasn't a boxer, but you're right.
It's funny because, you know, Tyson Fury outboxed him in the first fight for most of the fight, but then he literally one-shotted him and almost stopped him in the last round. So
Great strategy he changed.
All right, Mr. Caggiano, on the rebuttal tip, my man. Let's get it started. 1 minute. Do it.
It's tough to diss some of the people that are on, talking about Foreman. I mean, Foreman, greatest of all time. Again, size translates into punching power. It's my equals MC squares again. Yeah, he did have a lot of wins, but you also had to understand he needed to stay in the game so he could sell the George Foreman grills. So he had to extend his boxing life long enough because he needed to get out there and market those grills, and I got them, and they're good. They make a nice burger. But then we got Deontay Wilder. This dude is an axe murderer in the ring. He is just an absolute 6'7" axe murderer. And you're right, the boxing skills, and that's why the whole Tyson Fury thing was, but he's just a headhunter. It's just a one-shot headhunter. You can't argue with it too, but Hagler, I got to love the Hagler. I got to love the era, everybody out of the era too. So not to get
10
props.
seconds.
I'm not as familiar with Michael Jackson's oldest brother, Julian from Jackson. I watched that on the WABC Wide World of Sports as much, so I'm not.
Oh, that was cute. That was cute.
But he looked. If JD's got him props, I'll have to automatically give him some more props, and I to watch him. But it's a good group.
All right. I'm gonna hop in here for a little last butter time. Let me start the clock. And like he said, like all of you are saying, it's hard to impugn some of these. I'm grasping at straws. Wilder, I would say level of competition is the only quibble I would have. With Mike Tyson, the only quibble I would really have, but I think it's legit. His power kind of diminished by, say, round 4 or 5. I think the true hard hitters, they still have their punch in the 12th round, like we just talked about Wilder did against Tyson Fury in the first fight. Hagler, to me, he was a strong puncher, but he wasn't like a bludgeon guy. He was, build up a bunch of punishment and stop you. Foreman, again, hard to argue Foreman. What can I say? But to me, Julian Jackson, even some of Foreman's knockouts, even when he knocked out Norton was still awake and alert. He was just badly hurt. Julian Jackson knocks guys like they're out for the next 5-7 minutes. So that's truly like brisk punching power, and that's who I'm sticking with. All right, so Mr. Alemoru, you're gonna close up shop, my man. You got 60 seconds to do so. Let's see what you got.
Okay, I think all the points are valid in terms of the boxers and with Wilder, yeah, definitely the Fury one takes some points off, and he's very wild in terms of like devastating punches. I think Hagler will be still punching at that power in the 12th round, which is why I picked him. But my number 2 would be with 2 of the guys there, Tyson. But he, his later rounds and the fact that obviously he lost to someone who was considered a no-hoper, I think that takes a little bit of the shine. But I'll still go with Hagler. I did look up because there was a Roberto Duran documentary that I watched just before when JD had listed this one, and it was a toss-up between Duran and Hagler. But I'll stick with Marvelous.
All right. Well, America, now you've heard what the commission is talking about, and let's again do a quick sum up. I got Julian Jackson, junior middleweight champion of the 80s and early 90s. We got Rafael picking George Foreman. We got my man Robbie Day with Deontay Wilder. We got Keith Caggiano with Mike Tyson. And as you just heard Olu wrap up with Marvelous Marvin Hagler. So now it's up to you guys to let us know who you think is the best puncher of all time, or at least of the last 60 years. And then to also let us know who among this panel here you think gave the best account of themselves today. And then at the end of the season, and we only got 3 episodes left, ladies and gentlemen, and then we're going to pick a winner, ladies and germs. So let's give it up for this fantastic panel. Over here, Mr. Rafael Bracero. Over here, Mr. Olu Alemoru. Down here, we got my man, Mr. Robbie Day. Down here, we got my man, Mr. Keith Caggiano. And I, of course, have been JD Butter. Until next week, when we'll be back with another fun episode of Unsportsmanlike Conduct. Peace.